Hello, everybody. Welcome to this press presentation. Today, we're Tuesday, December 10. We have Mr. Jean-Louis Larmor, CEO of Luxell, which is a partner of Star Navigation. If we take a look at Star Navigation, technically speaking, though, it's near a buying point at 7 cents stock square mile buyer. Right now, the stock is trading at 6 cents. So this company here signed a contract with Al Masriya, which is an Egyptian airline company. So Mr. Larmor is there to talk to us more about that contract and the potential it has for Star Navigation shareholders. So Mr. Larmor, thank you for coming by.
Hello, thank you very much for welcoming me.
Excellent. So detail us this agreement that you had with Al Masriya in terms of the revenues proportion that Luxell will have, Star Navigation, and also Astrum will have.
Star Navigation is really the seller of the system and the added value services to Al Masriya. So they are the one desk, in fact, that sells the entire system and the services to Al Masriya. They will, after that, allocate the revenue to the other partners.
Okay.
So in terms of revenue allocation, Astrium will receive a certain amount of the time, the communication time through SATCOM. That's their forte. And anyhow, Luxell is the hardware supplier, so we have already been paid because we already provided the hardware.
Okay.
So later on similar contract, Star will be, in fact, the salesman, will be the system integrator, and Luxell will be paid for the hardware that they will produce and deliver.
Excellent. One thing that you said in the last interview, Mr. Larmor, is that the challenges that Star Navigation had is that for the last 2 years, the company didn't generate any revenues, but you were able to validate the technology. And you were saying that in 2014 that if everything goes right, that you could be able to be cash flow neutral. So are you still on the right path to be cash flow neutral in 2014, in the mid-2014?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
The very good news in 2013 was the first contract, commercial airline contract that we signed at Dubai Air Show. We were expecting that contract to be signed a little bit earlier during Paris Air Show. Unfortunately, it has been delayed. We spent a long time to validate all the steps of the system, of the services, with a Canadian company on board a Boeing 737 here. It was absolutely successful, but we had to wait for an actual company to sign up for new aircraft.
Okay.
So now we've got the first contract. It's a nice contract. Masriya is a young airline. They are eager to use this new tool in order to improve their operation and show they can make profit where the others were not. And they've got already expansion for their fleet. And we are already negotiating with them to be on this expansion of the fleet.
Is this a strategy? Because you guys have an innovative technology, but when I was looking at your news release, it seems like you're always targeting small to medium cap airline companies. Is this a strategy? You start with the small to medium cap airline companies, and then you will go to the mammoth companies?
That is correct.
Okay.
It's easier to penetrate the commercial airline market by going through the small companies, specifically the new one, the one which are opening new routes with new aircraft, because they don't have the infrastructure on the ground in order to process information after the flight.
Okay.
We are coming with a new tool which allows them to process the information and data flow, do the data mining real time when the aircraft is flying. So they save a lot of time in maintenance, they can save a lot of time in operations improvement directly, and they are brand new, so they want to build their infrastructure around these new tools.
You guys already made some financing recently. I think it was around $2 million. Right now, what is your current burn rate? Are you still working to improve the technology with this new money you got?
The burn rate monthly is about $100,000.
Okay.
So basically today, all the major investments and developments have been done, have been validated along 2013. We are improving some of the technology. We are developing new applications, but in order to minimize the costs, we are trying to develop these new applications with some support in the R&D financing in Quebec as well as at the federal level.
What's going on in Quebec with the R&D? You have a project that you're working on?
We do
in
have a
Quebec?
project.
Okay.
We are going to put that project on track for 2014. It will be the application of the same technology of real-time data transmission through 4 medical evacuation helicopters. So we are working with the CHU here in Montreal, CHU Saint-Justine, and we are working as well with some medical monitor suppliers, Philips Healthcare, for instance.
Oh, okay. One thing that struck me, because those are you talking, it's mostly like commercial aviation, I would call them. Now you sign an agreement with Patriot Aviation, which is in the military field.
Correct.
what's the strategy that led you to sign an agreement in the military sector? Is it a new field that you're trying to explore?
The technology, of course, is of a specific interest for many, many users.
Okay.
I talked about medical evacuation. We are starting that in 2014 here, where the technology already developed. Immediately, the US helicopter ambulance service providers have jumped on us, but we are trying to walk before running.
Okay.
And of course, the military people have started being very interested. If we were to develop, and I would say if we were to market the system to the military, it would be great. However, it won't generate profit immediately. So we have teamed with Petrus, whose specialty is really in the military field, and they are in charge of marketing and selling that system on specific segment for the military.
Okay, so because I know you guys are took back some responsibilities of sales from another partner that you had.
Yes.
And so is it like this responsibility, you still have it, or Petrus is only going to take care of the military portion and you're going to take care of the commercial portion of commercial
mostly
airlines?
we meaning Star Navigation, supported by Luxell, we are going after commercial airliners. We are going also after business jet or business jet operators. Petrus will help us. This is a non-exclusive type of agreement, and they are going to specific type of aircraft and specific type of application in the military.
And in terms of the regulations, I know that for commercial airlines, it's concerning the type. For instance, for the Boeing, you need a specific approbation, also for Airbus also. And for the military field, is it as complex, or there's less regulatory hurdle?
It is similar, that is to say, you always have to qualify your system on a specific type of aircraft, but it is less complex. You don't have an FAA, you've got to have the approval of the aircraft manufacturer of some sort, but it is less complex than in the commercial airline.
So you say that the profit will not come as fast in the military. Is it because you need to update the technology a little bit to fit some additional criteria of some military aircrafts?
We need to develop new interfaces to the aircraft. Basically, the communication links which exist on board the commercial aircraft are different from those who exist on military aircraft. So there's a little bit of new development. And also, I qualify this a little bit slower because the military aircraft basically are really submitted to the budget. So, and we all know that the military budgets right now around the world are going slowly.
So that's what I was asking you, like, why are you going to the military now, knowing that there's some budget cuts, but you intend to actually market it as a safe culling technology, right?
That is correct.
You made some analysis with the North Air, under Boeing of North Air, but in the press release you said that the time that you had was not really appropriate, but you were able, with the comments that you gathered for some people, you were able to feel okay with the data that you gathered on the Boeing of the North Air. So do you feel confident enough that with those data that you can go in front of the regulatory authorities and ask for a permit for to apply your technology on a Boeing?
It is already implemented on the Boeing because we already have the authorization to go on the Boeing 737. We already have the type certificate.
Is it for Al-Masriya? Is it the Boeing?
Al-Masriya is Airbus.
It's Airbus, okay.
So we are doing the Airbus thing. Air North's validation, it was really a validation period, was absolutely great because we managed to validate the equipment on board, the software, the communication channel to the SATCOM, as well as the ground segment and the operations. The only caveat to that was the Air North is really kind of a airline on demand, so they did not have regular routes and high level of use on these routes of the aircraft. So it was great, but not enough significant for an airline to go further. Al-Masriya, on the other hand, has got regular routes on new networks, and they will fly the aircraft much more intensively on given routes.
Excellent. Now you, in terms of revenues, let's talk revenues. So how much is the contract with Al-Masriya in terms of the cash flow that will be in each quarter? How do you expect this to play out?
I would base that on the annual basis. Basically, the cash flow we are expecting from Al-Masriya is about $500,000 for the year, with the existing 2 aircraft which are signed. We are talking of going to 4, 5, 6 aircraft, so you can imagine we increase mathematically the cash flow there. Depending on the way that Almasria wants to do it, if they want to lease or if they want to buy. Even if they want to buy, it will be an immediate cash flow for $500,000 to Star Navigation, plus the license fee, plus the communication fee for the data transmission. So it's quite significant already.
Okay.
Of course, once we reach 5-7 aircraft, it's better.
Yeah.
And we are talking to some other small airlines, brand new as well, or relatively new, and we are targeting for next year to reach 10 to 15 aircraft installed.
And next year, that's your target?
2014.
20,
yes.
10 to 15 airlines?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So now with this, because you still guys to develop new interfaces, you said, for the military side.
Correct.
So is it Pictures who's going to take care of that, or with the cash that you have right now that you just made with the recent financing, are you going to allocate some money to that development for this, so the military interface?
We are going to allocate money to develop these new interfaces,
Okay.
so that Star Navigation keeps the control of the systems, whatever the application field is concerned.
Okay, so, and in terms of challenges that lay ahead with the airline industry, how do you see and how do you think that Star Navigation is better prepared compared to their competitors to do better for 2014? Because actually your stock is now at the bottom, and there's a lot, people are hoping to see what's going to happen. The contract with Almasria, I think it's some good thing for you guys, but how do you reassure an investor when he's looking at this company, he loves the story, but he's like, what's going on with the stock, Mr. Larmor? Like,
the next real challenge for us is, let's consider Almasria is in the bag already. We are just finishing the type certification, documentation, and the likes. The next challenge it will be for the first quarter to make sure that we've got 1 or 2 other airlines signing up with us. With that, we should reach the 10 to 15 aircraft I was mentioning, and in that case, yes, we have taken off. And we can develop and we can expand really. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, we are targeting small airlines, which are quote-unquote easier to convince and penetrate because we are providing them with the infrastructure they are looking for. And once we've got all the credentials, on workhorses, we are targeting the Airbus A320, we're targeting the Boeing 737. Each one of these types is about 2,000 aircraft already flying, so it's a huge potential fleet for us to attack.
Okay, excellent. So, Mr. Larmor, I hope like you come back whenever you have the next contract with another airline. Don't forget us.
So do I.
Excellent. So, thank you for coming by.
Thank you very much, Christopher.